Flying like a bird is something that has occupied humans since time immemorial. There have been many attempts to take off like one of these feathered creatures, but yet there's much to learn from them. That's why a unique project between a paragliding mountain doctor from the University of Portsmouth and a physiological ecologist from the University of Exeter has now started to investigate the fascinating world of free flight.
We're hoping that between the two of us we can exploit new boundaries, find out new things, discover new ways that birds fly and discover new ways to make flight for humans safer.
One of the things is that birds have been doing this for so long, but humans have only just really started to kind of venture into these realms in these kind of similar ways. So my background is as a doctor rather than a scientist, and so I kind of came at this with the idea that in some way we could learn from how birds fly and how they operate to improve safety of human unpowered aviation, which is my kind of passion.
An important inspiration for the project is the bar-headed goose.
Some climbers who were climbing Mount Everest with Edmund Hillary in 1953 claimed that they'd seen these geese flying above the summit of Everest. So the idea that these birds could be flying on top of the highest mountain on Earth was spectacular and amazing. And my research over the last 10 years has tried to understand how they might manage it. So we found a couple of things. Number one is they don't actually fly over the summit of Mount Everest, they go around the side. The second thing is that we have discovered that they tend to travel at night. And that's not because they're stealthy ninja geese, it's because they like to travel in really cold air. And the colder the air, the denser it is. And the denser it is, the more there is to flap against when you beat your wings. So we think they like to travel at night because because it's easier to fly, and also because the denser the air is, the more oxygen it actually contains. So the more fuel is available for flight as well. And I guess the other thing that we've discovered is that in preparation for this amazing migration, even through the valleys and around the sides of the Himalayas, there's no athletic preparation for this at all, which I find stunning.
And the bar-headed goose is also a master in braving the cold.
Muscles are relatively inefficient, and because of that they produce a lot of heat, so that's why you get sweaty when you go for a run. Well, so these guys are exercising hard and producing a lot of heat and then really well insulated by their down. So we think that perhaps the bigger challenge for them is actually preventing overheating, particularly when they leave the Himalayas and migrate somewhere warm like India. So we don't think they struggle with the cold at all, and we think the cold is actually helpful to them.
Hearing all about this pretty impressive bird, one has to wonder, will human unpowered aviation ever be able to explore the limits of altitude?
I think we'll always be the losers, but I think that's the fun of it. I think it's great to have something to aspire to. There have been a number of pilots in the last year, particularly a Belgian pilot called Tom Ledor-Ledoux, his Spanish colleague Horacio Lorenz, and a Frenchman called Antoine Girard, who've really been pushing how high humans can go. Antoine Girard in particular flew up to 8,158 metres. We're now starting to talk the same environmental conditions that Lucy's geese fly in. And the problems that he faced up there were problems of lack of oxygen or defence against the cold. So while the birds make it look easy, understanding how they make it easy is the way that we can help our pilots. If not be as good as them, then at least try, at least have something to aim for.
Nicole Ris for That's TV.